Hello, my name is Brock Cardwell, and this is my lesson. So, hi everyone, I am Mr. Cardwell Teben, and today we are going to be scientists, but not any just normal scientists. We're going to be sound scientists. And our lesson for this week is called Making Sound Waves Visible. Do you think we can see sound? Let's find out. Back here, I have my slides so I can have some type of notes to go off of. So the question I want to answer is, let's talk about sound. What is sound? Sound is something fun. It's let's try an experiment, for example. So what I want you to do is I want you to put your hand gently on your throat, and while you're doing that, I want you to hum. So like this. And then, do you feel something? It's kind of like a buzzing or a tickling sound. That is actually called vibration. It's a fast back and forth movement that makes sound. All sound starts with a vibration. Sound is something we hear. It's made by vibration, and vibration moves through the air in waves. So, what is vibration? Vibration, again, is a fast moving back and forth movement that makes sound. Vibration happens when it moves really fast, like a drum, when it hits a drum, or like when you hit it with a drumstick, or like when you play a song on a speaker. That air around shakes, and that's what makes the sound travel. That is vibration. So it's, yes, quick movements, air shaking, creating that sound, and then we always can't see them, but we can feel them. And that's the cool thing about vibrations. So today on our lesson, we asked the big question, can we see sound? So we are going to try an experiment to see what sound does. So for my STEM lesson today, we are going to use water, and I already have my cup pre-filled, but you'll take a glass cup of a glass, and then you'll fill up your water about halfway. And then we're going to use some rice, which I have in this little container right here, and your voice or a sound source. So let's do this. Let's explore. So my one question I want to ask you is, can sound move even though it's invisible? So these are the materials. I kind of already went over them again. You're going to need a glass cup, and then you're going to need to fill that with about halfway with water, and then either some rice or some sprinkles. And something that makes sound, like your voice, a phone, a speaker, anything that makes vibrations. So step by step, I've already skipped ahead a step, but you're going to pour your water about halfway into the cup, and then you're going to sprinkle rice on top of the water. So I'm going to do that. Some rice will float, some won't. So if you can see, some of my rice is up top. And then what I want you to do is I want you to stay quiet at first and just look at the rice and tell me what you notice. What do you see? Now I want you to make a sound, kind of like this. And I want you to see what happens to the rice. So this is the part where I want you to explore in your lesson and in your STEM activity. I want you to make the same experiment like I did and test it with different things, using your voice, using a phone, using a speaker, anything like that. And when you do that, I want you to answer the question of, what do you think will happen to the rice when it makes sound? And where do you think the rice would go? Would it go on the water? Do you think it would fly out of the cup? Do you think it won't move at all? I want you to be thinking about those questions in your mind as you're doing this experiment. And Also, the last question, what are we watching for? Are we watching for the rice to fall, the rice to bounce, the rice to move, anything? I want you to answer that question in your head as you're building and working on this experiment. So it's time for you to explore. So you're going to try loud sounds, soft sounds, try nearby, try far away. And I want you to look closely at the water surface, which is this area right here. I want you to see what happens to the rice when the vibrations hit it. So, when you're doing this experiment, I want to ask you a challenge question of what did you notice? What did you notice when the rice, when the vibration happened? Did it move? What happened? And can sound make rice move? What else do you think might move? Like, do we think sprinkles would move? Just what did you notice in general about when the movement occurred? What moved? What caused the rice to move? And what differs with louder sounds? Does it move faster with the louder sounds, slower with the louder sounds? Just answer those questions. And then the final is our exit ticket. So for my exit ticket, I actually have it over here. We are doing a STEM sound and vibration lesson where I want you to draw your results of one of the experiments. I know with my class, we can try many things. We can try rice, we can try sprinkles, any other small item that we know that can float. And I want you to draw that on your exit ticket, and you can either explain to me what happens on the side, draw me a picture of before and after, just showing me something that happened. And then on this bottom part, which you'll all receive, it's a vocabulary mix and match. Basically, the vocab words that we use today, like move, sound, vibrations, energy, all that, I want you to take those words from the word bank and correctly match them to the definition at the bottom, okay? And that is your exit ticket for me. I hope you had a really fun time enjoying this experiment. I know I did. And don't be afraid, make it loud. It's more fun when it's loud. So that's my project over sound waves, sound vibrations. Thank you very much.